Welcome. First YouTube video, let's do this. So today I'm gonna be taking you on a little journey. I'm gonna be going to a bunch of different restaurants across Victoria. I'm finally done my show prep, so I'm super excited to be able to just get the good food in. So really quickly, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take you across what the physique looks like right now, a quick little weigh-in, and then take you through every single little restaurant. The first thing I wanna take you through right now is the fact that I am 8 days away from my last show. Now, a lot of things that people struggle with when they do come off of a show prep is they rebound in weight very, very quickly. So this time around, I wanna make sure that I stay on top of my goals and I don't gain all of this crazy unnecessary weight. First thing I wanna talk about is how to stay on top of your goals even after you've rebounded post-show, what my game plan is going to be moving forward, and how to still enjoy your life and enjoy yourself post-show even though you have rebounded in weight. So follow along with the video and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's fucking do it. Looking at that, that's about 10-ish pounds away from stage weight. The one thing that I will say too is I am not looking the way that I looked post-show whatsoever. I'm holding on to a lot of water. I'm holding on to a good amount of fat, a good amount of salt. So we're gonna see if we can make it through the day without going way too overboard, but still enjoying ourselves as much as possible. Along the way, I'm gonna give you guys some tips on, again, how you're gonna be able to stay on top of your fitness goals after the stage. Stay tuned, let's have some fun.
Look, I got it right. Don't you try to hit me, now you live a petty life. All those nights I lay awake, I pray for better life. Now I wake up with a baddie like I said I might. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. This a better life, you never tried, I bet it right. You been stuck is where you at because you never tried. Want a better life, I had to try, I bet it right. Yeah, I just took a test and yeah, let me write.
Okay, so we're at this place called Spoon's Diner right now. One really interesting thing that Mr. Kevin behind the camera alluded me to is that they have this thing called the Prusa. With the Prusa, you don't get to decide what you have. You essentially say whatever the kitchen wants to make you. Our lovely server explained some of the cool things that she's brought out before. So I told her I want the Prusa, so we're gonna see what she ends up bringing out to us. One of the cool things about it too is that they'll flip a coin with you to see if you pay the bill or double it. So I can either pay 36 bucks for this or have it for completely free. Let's fucking do it.
So if I had to guess, it'd be French toast with some kind of roast beef. Our chef makes house-made potato chips, so these are really, really lovely. And these are probably a like Parmesan fry on the side with a, looks like some sort of soup, maybe tomato bits. Oh no, that would be our beef and tomato soup today.
Unreal.
Yeah, cool.
Yum, dude. I'm just excited. Okay, first thing, these little fries I've never seen before. I was literally telling Kevin that if I ate a full potato, I'd be full for a full day just because my stomach is so not used to having satiating food. Let's try the tomato soup. That is it there. I don't know if you know how to focus that. That's really good. Another cool thing about this too is like they literally have like an eggs benny, like, or 2 poached eggs like right on top of this, and then it's like French toast, and then it's like meat. But I'm gonna show you guys in a second here. It's ridiculous looking. I don't even know how to tackle this. All right, Prusa, bite 1. That's fucking dank. That is so good. Okay, I'm gonna finish up this meal. I'm gonna actually sit here and enjoy it. I'm gonna give you guys the next step when it comes to being able to stay on top of your prep afterwards, and then we'll see you at the next restaurant.
Moving slowly, I know the street hype. No more double, go head a deep top.
So this is heads, this is tails. I'm not trying to screw you over.
Okay.
Flip it once. I'm gonna try my best to catch it. I'm a server, not an athlete.
Let's do it. Heads. Tails.
Oh,
Damn it. Damn it.
Bad past never left my mind, it's taking over. No, I should've died, that's why it's hard to stay sober. Glad to see the sun, but my heart getting colder. Life's all crazy, what we been through.
So, the number one thing that happens after you finish a fitness competition is a couple of things. Number one, you have no more goal. You're not working towards a show. You're thinking about the next time that you're competing and it's gonna be like a year, 2 years plus, or you're not even thinking about competing at all. That post-show blues and not really having a specific goal there afterwards is what leads people to binging and eating. After, 20 to 16 weeks of you just being so food focused, your energy is low, you're feeling like crap, the first thing that you want to do is binge out on food, right? So for me, myself, for the first 7 days, I definitely overindulged. I binged out on food. I gained about 12 to 15 pounds over the first 7 days, but now I really want to get back into the fitness side of things. One of the things I was able to do was estimate the amount of calories that I was intaking over those 7 days where I was kind of eating like an asshole. And I realized, if anything, because I'm retaining a lot of water, because I'm holding on to a lot of inflammation, because of all the extra sugar that I'm intaking in my diet, realistically, I should have gained around like 6 to 7 pounds of fat. So now that my stage weight was 168 pounds. If I calculate that out with all the water out of me, with the amount of fat gain that I would have had, I should be sitting around 175. Now, weighing myself this morning, I was 177, which means I'm about 10-ish pounds up right now. So the first tip that you gotta realize when you're going and doing something like this is that just because you've binged over the first 7 days or 3 days, even though it's not optimal, you can still get back to that main physique. So basically, one of the plans that we're gonna look to do over these next couple of days is I'm gonna go back to my diet that was where I was 2 weeks out from my show. So what I was eating was around 200 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and 50 grams of fat. I'm gonna bring all my food selection back to the way that it was before. So Greek yogurts, egg whites, protein powders, zucchinis, etc., etc. I'm gonna wait until my weight starts to come back down, and it should only realistically take 7 or so days. Now, the one thing that a lot of people struggle with is they just say fuck it, and they're like, I've gained all this weight, I've gained all this fat, fuck my life, and they don't go back into the gym with any sort of intensity. So the number one tip I would say is make sure that you have a goal, make sure that you are set up after your show so that you don't gain a bunch of unnecessary weight. That's it. We just finished up at the gym and we had an amazing workout. Having all of these extra carbs in my body just makes me feel so fucking good in the gym. Like, literally like a superhero compared to 2 final weeks of prep. So it just, so incredible. Next thing I want to talk about is tip number 2. So in the first tip, we talked about how I want you to go back to the diet that you had 2 weeks prior and making sure that you have a goal. The second thing is to make sure that you have some sort of system of accountability. Now, when you think back to show prep, for the most part, you probably did not go through show prep without a coach, right? So for the past 4-6 months, you've always been held accountable to weekly check-ins, to sending progress photos, to sending posing videos, etc. But now, immediately after the show, you have no one there to hold you accountable to anything. So tip number 2 is to make sure that you have some sort of accountability metric so that you still stay on track until you're back to that point where you have your metabolism back at a place where you can go out and eat this food without having extra amounts of fat being put onto your body. So the one thing that I did do is one of my clients, Steven, he competed in his first show in the WNBF, came 2nd place. I'm super fucking proud of him. But both of us kind of noticed that we were falling off the rocker a little bit. So we got on a call yesterday. We both decided that we're gonna coach each other for the next 4 weeks while we go through our reverse, having to send progress photos to each other, having to send weigh-ins to each other, just so that we are both held accountable to making sure that we are not just fucking flying off the rails here. So tip number 2 is to have some sort of accountability metric, whether it be taking progress photos for yourself, maybe taking progress photos and sending it to one of your old coaches, or even just one of your good friends. Because when you just hide the fact that you're gaining this weight, or you just hide the fact that you're in a place where you're not as happy, it is not a lot of fun. So like I said, tip number 2, have someone to hold you accountable again. So now we're going to go to a Chinese food restaurant, and they serve these things called bao, which are like little Chinese sandwiches that you can consider kind of like tacos, like Chinese like stuffings inside of them, and they're really fucking good. I'm just gonna trust what you're saying. You never play. So our Chinese barbecue has some cucumbers in it and good stuff. I'm really happy that we decided to go for like a lighter fare instead of going apeshit with like fish hook or something, because truly I'm really not that hungry, but that's dang. We'll stop with the food tour. We're gonna go to Nubo Sushi, and we're gonna end it off here. Honestly, not very hungry, and it's starting to get dark, so we're gonna try to finish it up here. Then we're gonna end it off with a little treat at the very end of the night, and I'm super excited about that. Again, take you on the journey to Nubo. It is a really cool sushi restaurant inside downtown Victoria. I'ma give it all to you. I'm just gonna trust what you're saying.
playing. Can't you feel good if I stay and be patient? Roll me right through the valley and stand on the mountaintop. No more reason to doubt, 'cause your love is a fountain drop. Now I won't be scared if I'm gonna make it out tonight.
There you go. All right. Last little snack of the day, we have a beautiful little ice cream sandwich from Virtuous Pie downtown. Cool thing about this place is it is 100% vegan. So this ice cream sandwich is 2 vegan chocolate chip cookies with hedgehog ice cream in between. So I'm gonna have this as my last little treat of the day. And then I want to tell you guys a little bit of the plan when it comes to the YouTube channel. And then the last and final tip when it comes to preparing yourself for how to get away from the rebound from prep. First things first, just as a little recap, all the restaurants were a lot of fun. The one thing that I was worried about was as I went through the day and I started recording everything, I was just thinking to myself, is this super weird? I have this camera in front of me, I'm talking into it. To be honest, like I wish I had a better structure of filming certain things because I wanted to take advantage of recording all of this on my phone and recording this on the camera as well. So I just kept like flipping back and forth. I'm like, okay, phone, B-roll, phone, talking to story, B-roll, everything. Next thing, going into all these different restaurants, everyone was really supportive. Like for example, the waitress at Spoons, for example, was super okay and super friendly with us being able to record her and film her throughout the whole process. When we ended up going to Bao, the server there was really nice as well. Every restaurant was just super okay about it. And I think that one of the things that a lot of us worry about when it comes to talking into cameras or doing anything online in general is the idea that people are going to look at you and stare at you and you're gonna feel like, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb because you're talking to a camera. And I think today really cleared that up in my head that nobody cares. Nobody cares whatsoever because you have no significant impact on their life, whether you're talking to a camera or sitting there staring at your phone. People are gonna stare because it is something different that they are not doing. And one of the cool things is being in Houston made me realize that all this stuff is okay. In Houston, at Alpha League, for example, everyone has their camera out. They got the full out tripods, they're recording themselves. So even going into the gym today and getting a quick workout in, I felt no kind of way about it. The camera was out, I felt really good, and I think I'm gonna have more confidence when it comes to recording myself moving forward because I already have this practice from today and I had the experience in Houston and I know that I can keep pushing forward. And the whole idea, like I said, is to record videos every single week, upload them every single Monday, and to be committed to doing that for the next 2 years. The plan for this YouTube channel is really just this. I want to document my journey when it comes to fitness. I want to talk about my journey when it comes to business. One of the things that we're looking to do is grow a clothing brand. Another thing we're looking to do is to grow a meal prep company. Another thing I'm looking to do is have 1,000 total clients within my coaching community. Where I was a year ago, or even 2 years ago, was nowhere near this. Right now, I'm sitting in an office with a brand new laptop. I have an absolutely beautiful camera that I'm recording this on right now. I'm living with a girl I never thought that I was going to ever pursue. I have dual monitors in front of me. I have one of the nicest microphones out there. I have amazing clients. I have an amazing team behind me. And I think that being able to be transparent and talk about all of this stuff with you guys as I continue to grow, whether it be for your entertainment or to document my own journey, just so that I can look back on these videos and be like, holy shit, like your 25-year-old life and your 26-year-old life, your 27-year-old life was something absolutely amazing. And I get to sit here and create every single day a life that I want to live. I'm just super excited to be able to look back on this stuff 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 30 years from now to be like, holy shit, what an amazing time. One of the things too is one day I know my kids are going to be able to see this. And I think to be able to show them, hey, look, this is what your dad used to do back when he was 25, 26 years old. It is something that I haven't had the opportunity to watch or look at. I really only remember 1 or 2 VHS videos of my dad before he ended up passing away when I was 5. And I think if I'm able to post all of this stuff, regardless if I die when I'm 30, 35, 80, I'm gonna have myself on the internet where I've been able to create this life for myself and I've been able to have such positive impact on people and meet some amazing people along the way and always be able to remember this journey. When it comes to this channel, like I said, there's gonna be a lot of challenges, a lot of food challenges specifically. I'm gonna document my preps, I'm gonna document my business growth, hopefully entertain you guys along the way, and like I said, stay dedicated to doing this at least over the next 2 years. I've signed the contract with myself, and one of the things I like to say is I will not miss a fucking day. Will not miss a day. So, tip number 3. We've gone over 2 already. Number 1 is to get back to your diet 2 weeks out from your show. So going back for myself, I'm going back to 250 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, around 50-ish grams of fat because I want to bring my fat intake a little bit higher. And I'm gonna stay consistent with that, doing 20 minutes of cardio after every single workout session. I'm gonna be going 5 times a week. I'm gonna be doing a push-pull legs, pause, upper lower split. I'm really only going to program in 5 or 6 working exercises with 3 to 4 sets of each thing, just because I want to make sure I keep my intensity high and I can continue to ramp it up, maybe add an extra exercise 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in as I start to gain my strength back. One of the things that sucks about prep is you don't have all of the strength that you once had before. You've been in a caloric deficit for 16, 20, 24, sometimes even 30 weeks. Your body is not used to having all of this extra food. As the weeks go on and as I continue to train, all of that muscle is gonna start to come back because of that muscle memory, and I'm gonna start filling out a lot quicker than usual. As of right now, weighed myself at the very end of the night. I'm sitting in around 184 pounds, even after a little basketball session that I ended up playing at the end of the night. So throughout the day, didn't really eat too much, but I did enjoy a lot of the food that I was able to eat. So I'm really happy with how this day was able to go. Now, like I said, big recap. Tip number 1 is make sure that you follow your diet where it was 2 weeks out. Number 2, make sure that you have that accountability system. I'm gonna be holding myself accountable with one of my past clients, Steven Story. We're gonna hold each other to this program with each other until we're about 4 weeks out, and then we can properly go into a reverse growing phase, all right? Now, tip number 3, and the last thing that you have to remember is this is life. Have fun with it. Go out, enjoy food, schedule in free meals for yourself, but don't go AWOL. Scheduling in fun time, especially after you've been dieting for 24 weeks, you haven't been able to go on dates with significant others, you've missed events, birthdays, Christmases, Valentines, whatever the case is, you gotta remember that you're a human being and you only live one life, that you gotta have time for these free meals. Plan them out, make sure that you have time for the people that are around you that love you, and give them back the energy that you kind of had to take away during your prep. Going through prep and going through a show is one of the most selfish endeavors when it comes to sports that I know, because you have to do a lot of the things for yourself. You're doing this all to yourself. Everything that you are dealing with, you wear on your sleeve because you're so low energy, you don't want to do anything, you get annoyed, you get irritated, and the people around you know that. So give them back that love that they ended up missing out on over these last 24 weeks, 30 weeks, whatever the case is, and show them that appreciation. Go out to dinner, go out to lunch, go get ice cream, go do something. But remember, you live a life, you don't have to go straight into macros right away. Again, schedule out some free meals for yourself and get you back on track. After all is said, I'm up 15 pounds from my original show weight. To be completely honest, I don't look anything like I looked when I saw myself on show day. But like I said, I understand a lot of this is bloat, a lot of this is salt, a lot of this is water retention. So I'm gonna really try to pull this back over these next couple of days and see if I can get back into the 170s consistently and then really go into that growing phase because since my body is at this place where I am not anywhere near where my walking around weight is, which is usually around 200 pounds, my body kind of creates it like an elastic. So if I'm normally here, this is my homeostasis, the more into a deficit that I go, you can kind of consider the space between like an elastic band. So if I'm normally 200 and I diet down to 160, there is a good amount of tension on this elastic band. So as soon as you start to increase calories again, it wants to fling you back towards that decent medium. So instead of just slamming your calories completely full, the best idea is to just slowly increase your calories while maintaining food sources that you are used to eating and then slowly incorporating other things. But we also understand that sometimes that just doesn't happen because cookies are fucking unreal. Donuts are fucking amazing, and I've definitely enjoyed my fair share of donuts over the past little bit. So if you've messed up your reverse after your show prep, do not worry. Set some goals for yourself, get that accountability back, bring your diet back to that 2 weeks out mark. You don't have to crush yourself with cardio, but trust me, the more in tune your body is after prep, the better you're going to feel, and you're gonna feel way less of those post-show blues. That's it. I'm gonna have this bite of this ice cream sandwich. I'm gonna get this video uploaded to the man Tony to get some editing done. Here's a little ice cream sandwich. Sorry, side note. Virtuous Pie is a pizza place serving these cookies and ice cream sandwiches. I can kind of taste that it came from a pizza shop. Kind of odd. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Moving on to next week, we are gonna be doing an actual 10,000 calorie challenge. So please stay tuned for that. I'm gonna be asking more and more of you guys on my Instagram at KeithJamesFit to let me know what foods I should be eating. I'm going in. I'm actually gonna go in, and I'm not gonna pussy out like I kinda did today. All right, hit that subscribe button. I would absolutely appreciate it. Follow me on my journey when it comes to these next 2 years. Watch me grow, and let's have some fun along the way. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Deuces mooses.